Hey everybody, what is up? Welcome back to Final Trade. So there's a lot to talk about today. So first off, the market is so stretched out. It is so stretched out, but you know what? It can keep running for a long time from here. You look out at things like Spider-Man boxes at $730 and Edge of Eternities at 430. Final Fantasy boxes have gotten up into the mid 1200s. Lord of the Rings Special Edition jumped from like 2,000 to 2,400 in the last couple of weeks. There have just been so many boxes that have just gone absolutely nuts on their price. Fallout's another good one. In the last couple of months, it's gone up to like $1,300. Just kind of all of a sudden, and it's sat around 8 to 900 for quite a while, and then now it's just jumped way up. The thing is, though, the market can go like this for a lot longer. And if we roll in the Pokemon market too, we've seen Pokemon has been wildly hot for a year now. And Rattle Pokemon keeps posting videos every day of the bad behavior of people trying to get Pokemon. And you would think those people would get discouraged. People getting in fights, people getting arrested, people waiting outside of GameStops and everything else to get cards in the morning. And you would think that would crush the market eventually. Those people would go away, the demand would settle down, and then the people who are short time flippers, they would get discouraged because all their money would be tied up or they could no longer get enough money to be worth it. And something really interesting happened in the last couple of weeks. So I had talked a few weeks ago about how you can go on the Pokemon TCG subreddit and you can see the photos of people's local donut shops and pizza shops that now sell Pokemon and literally just flipping it. Obviously, they don't have distributor accounts. They're literally going and buying it somewhere and then flipping it in the donut shop. Okay. And it's one of those situations like the saying goes that when the shoe shine boy is giving you stock tips, you know it's time to get out. Something else interesting happened, and that was several days ago, Rudy posted a video. If you want to go back and find it, probably in the last 3 or 4 days, sometime in that time period. And it's about 59 minutes long. And it's just another one of his kind of, random talk, pseudo stream of conscious kind of videos where he just talks for a while. Well, one of the things he did in that video is he said that he cannot see how Pokemon USA can print enough to get out of this situation. And when I was listening to him and I heard that, it was like Rudy is capitulating. And now, typically, we talk about capitulation on the downside. We talk about it when a market is breaking, and all of a sudden, everybody just says, you know what? None of this is ever going to be worth anything. I have to protect what I have left. And they sell at low prices, lock in their losses, and walk away. But you can have capitulation on the upside too. It's where people throw in the towel and they just say, you know what? This market is going up forever. Nothing can ever stop this train. And you might as well buy at any price because the momentum is going to carry you higher. And it's interesting because it is a capitulation nonetheless. It's just at a different part of the market cycle. And it was interesting to hear Rudy kind of, in a way, giving up and saying, yeah, Pokemon USA just can't print enough. And it kind of feels like, okay, this is the point where it feels like the pressure on the Pokemon market is way too high and something should break in the coming months. And having said all that, you just have to be ready for it to not happen. You have to be ready to just keep marching along for months and months and months and the prices to remain elevated. And, you see that in every market. You see markets that have run way, way out over their skis to the upside and the same to the downside. It's just a normal thing because our individual interpretations of the market, whether it's mine or Rudy's or anybody else's, they are subjective interpretations and they are colored by our own experiences and where we sit in the market, what we can see around us, what we observe, where we get our data from, what kind of data we have access to, and all of those things. And so, even if I think that the Pokemon market is too far out over its skis, even if Rudy is capitulating on the upside, the market can still run much, much, much further. And so you have to have a plan of how you're going to handle that. Are you just going to keep buying in, or are you going to say, you know what? I'm not going to buy any more Pokemon until the market breaks. And yeah, I'll probably miss some sets, but there's always more opportunity. Maybe that's the thing to say. But I'm thinking about that a lot right now. So last night we ran sealed sale number 22 for the patrons. It was the Throne of Eldraine collector boxes, including sealed collector cases. We sold out, and if you ordered, your boxes are already in the mail. So I don't know when shipping updates will start to post, but the post office has them already. Tomorrow night, Thursday, we're going to do sealed sale number 23, Modern Horizons 1 booster boxes. Yes, they're a bit more bulky and a little lower value, which means the economics on shipping them are not as good. And so there will be a 2 box minimum. I will probably end up selling them in 2, 4, and 6 box quantities. If you have ordered a hat, thank you. All of those have gone out that have been ordered so far. And the hats do not have a time limit on them. I got a question about that. No, I bought 144 hats and they will just be available until they are sold out. So there is no time limit on buying that if you want to get one. So the hats are $25. There is a link down below, a payment link to PayPal if you want to buy one. If you are a patron, you can add it in when you're buying sealed product from me through Patreon, and it'll only be $20 there. So everything's going great. Still working towards opening a store sometime in the coming months. That's just going to be a process that is going to take a while. I know everybody gets excited and feels like, hey, the next video should be the store, but guys, it's going to be a while. And everything is still moving towards that. Don't worry. Lots of great products coming. So much product ready for these sealed sales in the coming 10 weeks. And, despite the fact that the market is so overstretched, I'm not worried about it. I mean, I started final trade in 2021, literally about 6 months before the market really started to get crushed under the COVID reprints. And so I ran this business its first 3 years through a bear market. I am not afraid of bear markets in this. I rejoice over bear markets because you get to come in and put back a ton of product at very, very low prices. So I'm not worried about that, but we're just going to have to wait to see what the macroeconomic inputs are going to be. Because really, Magic is firing on all cylinders. Magic is doing so wonderfully in their execution, and maybe back in 2024, we could have said, oh, well, they could flounder, they could get some stuff wrong. And maybe we would have been right. But we have seen so much evidence now, so many expansions, one after another, setting new all time sales records. So many IPs that, even though people like me and a lot of us here, we don't like Universes Beyond, but, apparently it is the future of Magic and it's selling unbelievably. And so this I don't see how Magic screws that up. I don't see how WotC ruins that right now. I could see that, if the tariff get-in finally comes, and what I mean is not the imposition of tariffs, but the market's reaction. If the market's reaction to tariffs or news of tariffs or no tariffs or a lot of tariffs or whatever it ends up being, if the market has a very bad reaction to it, then that's what could finally break this Magic market. It could also break the Pokemon market at the same time. It probably would. But you know what? If the tariff situation fizzles out or whatever happens with the actual tariffs, if the market does not have an insane reaction to it and the market just keeps walking upwards, well, you're going to see these bull runs of Magic and Pokemon go on even longer. The other thing is, let's say Jerome Powell cuts the interest rate. Um, I don't think he should. I think we need realistic interest rates. Nothing allocates well at a cost of zero, including money. And I know we're nowhere near a zero interest rate right now, but we have been at zero and near zero interest rates for way too long over the last 15 years. It's created a lot of sickness in the market, and it needs more time to work that out. So personally, I don't think we need to cut interest rates. But let's say Powell goes and does it. Let's say the September meeting, the Feds decide to cut the interest rate. The market is going to have a sugar high reaction to that. And that's going to be the stock market and the crypto market. And we here in the TCG market live downstream of that. And so if that sugar high comes from cutting the interest rate, man, you better believe that we're going to see another leg upwards here in the TCG market. And likewise, if Powell gets replaced, then man, it's going to be even more magnified because you will expect that whoever the president puts in his place is going to be a dove. He's going to cut the rates and he's going to cut them multiple times. So, with Powell, maybe we get one or two rate cuts before the end of the year. And if Powell ends up replaced, whether he steps down or he's fired or whatever, we should probably expect more and bigger rate cuts, and that will just push an all new sugar high into these markets. And so that's why I caution people against thinking that these markets are going to break anytime soon. They could, but they can also run for a lot longer. So just be patient, like we always are here. I am patient as the pyramids. Let me know what you think, guys. Thanks to everyone who makes this content possible, especially my very generous supporters on Patreon. Like, comment, share, and subscribe, and join me on Frontal Trade.